On the restart, weaves his way, fires and scores.
Look at attack, coming middle, trying to free himself
up, shot, score. Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin.
He wants a shot and he's got it. Wow.
Meanwhile, Arbusto, one-handed
shot is up and in.
Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up Gabord, and it's time to pluck a chicken.
Got a good one-handed scoop up.
Roy, and then he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice play.
Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground. Chase, extra feed, shot, score, game over.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Derry. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. It's the Londonderry Lancers and the Pinkerton Astros. Two neighboring towns, two long histories, and two teams trying to figure it out mid-season amidst a crowded Division I landscape. Pinkerton right now atop the D1 standing, 7-2 overall. The two losses recently against very good out-of-state opponents in Longmeadow and Hingham. But a measuring stick game on Monday in which the Astros prevailed over perennially tough Exeter 11-8 to improve again to 7-2 overall against first-year head coach Marty Osier. Londonderry on the other side, they're also led by a first-year head coach. That's Jimmy Ward, longtime man in the program, similar to Osier. Takes over this year in year number one. He's got Londonderry at 4-2 despite an early season opening loss at St. Thomas. The Lancers have rallied to win 4 of their last 5 and are hoping to make it 5 of 6 here on the road today against a very good Pinkerton team.
Yeah, from all accounts, Nick, Londonderry's up and coming. Their season had gotten off, as you said, to a little bit of a slow start, but everything that I'm hearing about them through not only our friend Joe, Marshallina, and Coach Hetler on their podcast, is that things are streaming upward for them. And they need to get some production going from Colby Walden today, or Walden, that is. And we'll see what they can do out there against a very strong Pinkerton team.
Yeah, Pinkerton, again, caught the eyes of many, really rolling right out of the gate. Double-digit wins over Salem, Dover, Manchester Memorial Central, Keene, South. Not tested in those games, but again had to battle two very good Massachusetts teams as of late. Still 3 Mass teams remaining on the schedule as they look to challenge themselves really year in, year out, no matter who is the head coach. But 11-8 over Exeter caught the attention of many back on Monday.
Yeah, for sure. And Exeter, they've been kind of ramping upward after a season-opening loss to a strong Bedford team at the time. We're seeing the same thing out of that team, but Pinkerton goes over and takes care of them quite easily. I heard the game was close at times, but again, when you start throwing this particular contest into the mix, and you've got town-to-town rivalries and things like that. We've been surprised in the past with these two teams coming to the plate and giving us a real good game.
Might as well throw the records out the window when these two teams get together. Coming up, face-off at the bottom of the hour, mid-season battle between Londonderry and Pinkerton. Coming up next, it's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
There is new Pinkerton head coach, Marty Osier, longtime assistant, and gets his chance to beat a neighboring town here this afternoon in Londonderry. The latest chapter in this rivalry. Of course, these two schools used to be one school, Londonderry and Pinkerton. Split over 40 years ago. Wow. Londonderry High came into existence, so those Londonderry students at one point in time went here to Pinkerton.
I did not know that.
Captains and starters meeting at midfield. Roger, before we begin here, as Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you, welcoming you here to Derry. What do we look for? What do the Lancers need to do to pull a quote-unquote upset, and what does Pinkerton need to do to hold serve?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, but Stengel's going to be a big factor today, keeping him at bay and trying to neutralize him at the face-off circle. I'm very interested to see who the Lancers put on Jeff Gormady today in that attack and what they can do to stifle that. Always looking to see what Mr. Perkins can do in goal for the Pinkerton Astros, and just how this defense for the Lancers can shut them down on offense over there on the Astros side.
Londonderry in their road blues. They'll head right to left in this first quarter. 12 minutes on the board here at Pinkerton Academy. The Astros in their home whites will counter from left to right. And we are underway. The aforementioned Dylan Stengel Jr. won the faceoff initially. And we see Londonderry's man hacked down from behind. Rough tumble there for Austin Callahan, the freshman. Looks like the Astros, in the end, were set to take the opening possession. Instead, there's a turnover near the boundary on the sideline. And the long pole, Cam Ayotte puts it in play for the Lancers. Londonderry hoping for an early shot. A bounce pass taken behind the cage. It's going to slow down the pace here as Lancer sophomore Brody Campbell hits the restart button.
Kind of whistle.
Meanwhile, a one-on-one up top. Nowhere to go. Slide drawn. Shot comes from the wing, and that is knocked down and saved by Gavin Burwell. Junior goaltender got a good look at that shot, offered up with a little bit of juice on it from Trey Campbell. Another of these freshman midfielders for the Lancers. As you said, it's a young Londonderry team, a work in progress for Coach Ward, but again, playing well as of late, winners of 4 of their last 5.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Pinkerton's first possession, they'll slow it down. Well, first touch near side for Jeff Gormady, senior headed to Southern New Hampshire, one of 2 Penman recruits on the Pinkerton roster. Lancers defense going to come out and challenge. And now one-on-one downhill for Benjamin Quinzalani, one of the veterans. Sets up a pass on the wing, nowhere to go for Gormady. Now back up top yet again. Patient trip for the home team here on their first possession. Nearly 2 minutes gone by first quarter. Astros hoping to strike first. To his left comes Gormady. Bouncing shot ends up wide of the goalie. Foot race to the corner. That ball's not going to get there. Swept back into play. Scooped up by Londonderry in a crowd. That's Odin Delory. And the freshman in the midfielder is going to clear it himself.
It's got some speed.
It's got the Lancer sideline fired up. Delory is going to circle back around, get rid of the ball. Meanwhile, a big hit levied here along the sideline. Now a little bit of breathing room for trip number 2 as Trey Campbell tries to settle in for Londonderry. Well, both head coaches very vocal on the sidelines, as you can hear. And now circling around the cage is Aiden Stoll, the junior. Lancers look for a cutter. They get one. A quick shot ends up high of the crossbar. Draws a collective groan, and good awareness by Pinkerton. 2 men in the area there in the corner to claim the possession.
Yeah, good possession there by Londonderry to get at least a clear shot.
Meanwhile, Burwell asked to help out here on the clear. The goaltender hooks up with Levi Weaver. Pinkerton freshman, long pass taken. Good contestant pull in on the run. That's Tyler Pernardi, another freshman for Pinkerton. And youngsters on both teams making plays here early on, but no score. Just over 3 minutes gone by first quarter.
Yeah, both teams seem to be just kind of feeling it out, Nick. They're not really going to it. Not like at least I was expecting. A little more upbeat, up pace.
Gormady's going to draw a slide. That pass, though, is picked off. Ayotte read it the whole way. Here comes the senior, Cam Ayotte, committed to Nichols College. Maybe thinking shot, no. Instead, he comes near side with a pass that is dropped on the move by Owen Heward. Backed up, though, by his Lancer teammate Colby Walden.
Great anticipation there by Cam on that cross crease pass.
Heward, a spin
nice.
move. He's got him in.
Beautiful.
Shot and score.
Very nice.
Right on the doorstep, Brody Campbell paid the price, as you saw, but nonetheless able to hang on to put the Lancers out in front here on the road 1-0.
This is a very nice goal. Great feed, right on the doorstep. Late hit. Could have been a flag there. But very nicely done there by Owen Heward. One of 3 Londonderry athletes that have been to this high school.
Heward the assist, the sophomore. And Campbell with the first goal, his classmate, to put Londonderry out in front 1-0. Good execution on that play.
Indeed.
4 minutes in first quarter. It's on Pinkerton now to respond, and the Astros get another face-off win from Dylan Stingle. Stingle's got a man up ahead, but unable to corral it was the long pole, Brendan Carney. And then a play out of the cage. Look out.
St. Gelais.
Slipping there was Brock St. Gelais, but in the end, we're going to have a tie game.
Yeah.
Well, he survived the fall to the turf, but in the end, Pinkerton gets the quick goal. As you see there, Roger, the ride producing an early one for the home team.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that the pass from St. Gelais over to Griffin Cunningham didn't get connected on, because they would have been off to the races there. But instead, the mishap gets right back to the Astros, and, Matt Gormady pops it in.
So Gormady, the junior, one of the members of the All-State watch list to begin the year.
Oh, violation there on Pinkerton.
Yeah, Stingle had seemingly gotten into a groove. Now we get a flag here. Trying to swim right here is Drew Allen. Penalty on the way against Pinkerton. Allen's still with it, trying to fight off. Terrific attack here from Jackson Chase, the defender. Chase right in his mug. Pass ends up high for Heward. The ball is on the ground behind the cage, and now we do get a whistle. Penalty against Pinkerton. It'll be the first against either team.
Yeah, it looks like an interference call here.
Comes nearly 5 minutes into the game.
Delay of game. Okay.
Delay of game, 30-second penalty against Dylan Stingle.
Yeah.
Coach Ogier appears to roll his eyes there along the sideline, not pleased. So Londonderry, they scored first, surrendered the lead a moment ago, now hope to retake charge here on the EMO. It'll be a short one.
And they're being aggressive right off the start.
It's Pinkerton long pole, Nate Smith. Not afraid to get out and get after it. Londonderry hits the pause button, now looks to resume, comes near side. This is Campbell. Nowhere to go. No touch for Walden. Backdoor shot and score.
How about that?
Well, all of a sudden, Owen Heward ended up wide open near the cage. Walden's pass is on the money. Heward goes 5-hole. And Londonderry cashes in with just seconds remaining on the EMO.
Well, I was just about to say that I really like the aggressiveness on the Astros defense here. They're really coming out hard, yet they're leaving that backside open because of the way the zone has to shift upward and cover. So Colby finds a little seam in that area and finds Heward in the back.
So
wow.
Heward off to a good start.
Yeah.
In this first quarter, a goal and an assist. His club leads 2-0. Pinkerton, meanwhile, starting to carve out a bit of an advantage at the face-off X. That's been the case more often than not this season. Aiden Jones, the junior, helping out on the wing. Jones still with it. Scoop it over to his teammate Gormady. And now Pinkerton hoping to tie the game here at 2 as we near the midway point of this first quarter.
Interesting how that 30-second penalty. Oh, nice
Gormady
ball.
right to the rim.
Yep, right to the rack.
Got the step on the defender, and well, the rest is history. Gormady has both Pinkerton goals. We're square again at 2.
Yeah, this is just all him. All him. You can't put the gate up there too long and get the hold call, and really no help down low. So no slide there for Londonderry. They're going to have to clean that up because Gormady's going to run them today. He is one of those guys that is just all athlete, and he can take it to the rack, as you just saw.
So the junior showing some speed. Scoring the answering goal just 29 seconds after Heward had struck for Londonderry.
Yeah, new face-off guy.
It's the aforementioned Pinkerton sophomore Aiden Jones, Pinkerton junior. You know, this one turned over. Now Londonderry looking to clear. This time they go up the middle. With a long pole, that's Austin Callahan who crosses midfield. Still 2 defenders in the area.
No help.
Trying to swirl away.
Nobody's moving.
Escape down the sideline. Relentless pursuit from Pinkerton's Tyler Pernardi.
Yeah.
That's going to lead.
He never touched the box.
Yep. Just relentless pressure there to force another Londonderry turnover. A quick clear later, and all of a sudden the Astros want to run, but that pass batted down on the far side. Going to take a bounce toward the cage. Scooped up and finished. By the long pole, Brendan Carney, or are they going to wave it off? He stepped in the crease.
Stepped in the crease. Oh, quick whistle, too.
And a quick outlet.
Look at that.
As Cam Ayotte, undetected at midfield, spins by his man. He's got a man to his right. We get a shot and a save. Burwell ready there in the cage, able to wave the wand for his first stop. Long outlet, and again Pinkerton wants to run. Up near the cage. This time running into the net goes, I believe that was Carney. May have been pushed. It was not Carney. It was Kyle Ushkevich.
Yes.
And Ushkevich just went face first into that far pole as we get another look.
Good hustle by the Lancers, though, to get back there.
A frantic pace over the last few minutes.
That was a very surprising quick whistle. We haven't seen that a lot all season long. Almost like a start on their own. And
yeah, a bang-bang sequence of events there. The goal waved off. We had the outlet pass. And now we have a turnover again at midfield. Is Pinkerton Ride getting results? Can they secure the ground ball? Somewhere in the middle of the crowd is Zach Kelly. Another pole for Pinkerton, and Kelly in the end has the last word. Or does he? Londonderry going to stay with it. And this time up the far sideline goes Cole Mackin. Another NCAA commit on his way to LaSalle. Coming up on the 4-minute mark, first quarter. Been even match so far, Roger. with the game tied at 2.
Yes, indeed. It's still a little bit sloppy in my mind, but good back-to-back action just the same.
So a bit of a grinding pace over the first few minutes. Turned into a little bit of a track meet over the last few.
Well, it is Londonderry Dairy, isn't it?
Yep, 2 teams with a long history, and especially lately, a lot of close games. You and I were on hand last year in Londonderry.
Yeah. That was a fun game, too. That was down on the side of the
field
mountain.
level. Yeah.
We did everything but generate our own electricity in that game.
Meanwhile, Quintilani, nowhere to go on the wing. Pinkerton now with 2 players behind the net.
Nice.
They look for a cutter, and an over-the-shoulder shot ends up wide from Gormady.
Boy, that would have been a highlight reel if that had connected. What a nice play.
Little Razmataz.
Yeah.
As we see, a foot or so off on that shot wide, so the game tied. Still at 2. Another chance for Pinkerton. This is Jeff Gormady, shot to score.
Wow.
We saw 2 from Michael. Now Jeffrey checks in. Jeffrey, senior on his way to Southern New Hampshire, is going to give Pinkerton their first lead at 3-2.
Yeah, not to be outdone here, and this was just a blast. I don't know if St. Gelais had a screen here or not. Not a whole lot of good body defense. No, that was just a clean shot right at him. So pretty good miles per hour on that one, I'd say.
So the Gormadys providing the offense here for Pinkerton in this first quarter. Michael with the first 2 goals, Jeffrey with the last. Now a shot, or was that a pass? Either way, deflected. Lancers get to the chest-high ground ball. Andrew Cody, the senior, looking good here on the run. Astros hoping to, well, they were hoping to potentially cash in there in transition, but I see Coach Ward wants to pull it back.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say, Nick. Yeah, I mean, the defense has been out there running back and forth. A lot of action on the Londonderry side. Let's get a good possession here.
So now it's Odin Delroy. Jogging here on the near side wing, shadowed by the defender Pernari. Off the switch, nowhere to go. Delroy now lets it loose up top. This is Campbell. Been a disciplined man-to-man here early from Pinkerton.
But very aggressive, though, too. Yeah, look. Even on that EMO, just coming right out and challenging.
Campbell trying to spin away from the pole, Cade Johnston. Johnston doing a good job there.
Look at this, 3-man game out by the 30.
Yeah. Here's Walden. Hoping to get on the inside of Brady Blaska. That shot not clean, ends up wide, and Pinkerton wins the foot race. Good hustle on the far side by Jackson Chase. Senior on his way to Keene State.
Yeah, I like what Coach Ward did there, though. The Astros are almost overplaying on defense and, try and get something established up top.
Meanwhile, Michael Gormady finds Jeff. Extra pass, shot and score.
Very nice.
Kyle Lushkevich. Senior, right place, right time. Good ball movement there. Astros have scored 3 straight. Now doubling up Londonderry 4-2.
And these goals are just really good lacrosse goals. I mean, wide open, pass it down. Defense was late getting back on that clear. And this is what Coach Ogier told me before the game. This is what they want to do. They want to run. They want to run some transition. They want to run once they get that ball, and they want to use their skills and maximize the competition between the boxes and get them into situations just like that.
Meanwhile, Aiden Jones has done a good job splitting time at X so far with Dylan Stingle.
Yeah.
It's been a good 1-2 punch for Pinkerton as they win another. Chance to add to this 2-goal lead here as we approach the first quarter's final minute. Meanwhile, commotion on the sideline.
Lots of
a late substitution for Londonderry. Temporary advantage.
They got confused.
No shot.
They got confused because Stingle came off first and left Jones out there, and I think they thought the Fogo was the one, but no, Jones stayed out there as the faceoff guy to play defense late.
Meanwhile, Jeff Gormady going to hook up with Quintilani.
Oh,
Quintilani
nice
gets the step. The bouncer is denied. Rebound shot goes off the pole. Loose ball, another pile up. And that thing is still loose as it rolls towards the corner. Quintilani, with inches to spare, gets to it. And then a timeout comes from Coach Ogier. Well, first of all, a good shot. See the bouncer, and then on the rebound a moment later, Matt Gormady rang the bell as that ball caught iron and bronze. It stays at 4-2. It'll be Londonderry ball. I'm sorry, yeah. Pinkerton ball.
Pinkerton ball, yeah. And I'm all for this timeout because for me, even up from here, it's hard to see what that corner line looks like. So I'm sure Coach Ogier didn't quite know where Quintilani was in that corner there. Didn't want to lose possession. So good timeout. I mean, only 28 seconds here left in the first, but it's more about keeping possession in the offensive side of the field right now, not conserving timeouts.
Our broadcast today brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Glad you could join us. Two rivals meeting at mid-season. Two D1 contenders. Pinkerton at 7-2 overall. Londonderry behind them a bit, but still a good record at 4-2. Winners of 4 of their last 5. Lancers jumped out in front 2-1, but the last 3, Roger, have gone Pinkerton's way.
Yes, they have, and Pinkerton's ready to run, and not quite sure whether or not the Lancers so far are proving that they can keep up with them between the boxes. So we'll have to see. But and I say that only because the defense seems to be getting back late on these transition balls that are coming through.
Michael Gormady's been fun to watch so far. He's got the restart here deep behind the cage. Two goals early for the junior. He's got nice. A cutter here. It's a tough catch across the zone behind Ushkevich. Meanwhile, a big hit on the near side wing. There's a Pinkerton player still down. Ball's going to roll to midfield. We get a whistle, and now we should get a pause as there's an injured player. As I mentioned, back along the goal line here. The clock is stopped with inside of 6 seconds.
Well, it looks like after he made that pass, Farrell was looking across the crease to Uskevich. He fell hard on that shoulder by the looks.
Meanwhile, we've got a score update here to get to in just a moment. Players down on one knee. The trainer is out. Roger, I did not get a number there.
17. Jackson Farrell by the looks.
Pinkerton's Jackson Farrell, the sophomore.
I think right here we'll see it. Yeah, cross crease pass, and he fell hard. So no possession on this either, so this might actually come back. Yeah, right. Yeah, he just missed it. But yeah, from that other angle, Ben, I think it looked like just out of frame. I think he might have fallen right down on his right shoulder.
Good to see him up and walking. However, it is with the assistance of the medical staff here. Again, that's Jackson Farrell with an apparent shoulder injury.
It's not his right because the trainer's holding his right arm, so it's probably the left.
Keep an eye on the youngster here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 5.7 seconds remaining first quarter. Lancers have it. Owen Heward from midfield waiting for the officials' restart signal. Going to throw one out in front of the cage and hope for the best. That ball gets through, goes out of play with less than 2 seconds left. And now this one will do it. Astros fell behind early. Pinkerton picking it up behind the Gormady brothers late in that first quarter. We've got a 4-2 lead after one. Lancers look for a counterpunch. When we come back, you are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, so far, so good if you're Pinkerton. The Astros lead 4-2 over Londonderry after one here in Derry. Nick Anastas, along with Roger Howe, and a good crowd here on campus at Pinkerton. A perhaps late arriving crowd, but they have turned out to see this midseason duel. Astros at 7-2 overall. Londonderry, after losing at St. Thomas to open the year, they've won 4 of their last 5 and come in at 4-2. Hoping for a win here on the road. Some good stuff out of Coach Ward's Lancers in that first quarter, but more to do as we get set for the second.
Yeah, a lot of high passes there. They got to calm that down. Get Colby involved in this offense, and try to do something with the Gormley brothers, and maybe something with the faceoff circle, because they were 1 of 6 against the Astros.
It's been a combination of Stingle and Jones that has worked for Pinkerton. Meanwhile, Stingle still on the field and still holding the ball. Now it's going to be taken over here on the near side wing by Tyler Berry. Berry, a junior. Didn't play much in that first quarter. He's going to make a move to his right. He's got Cam Ayotte breathing down his shoulder.
Yeah, and very aggressive. Laying a lot of lumber out there tonight.
I've seen that both ways defensively.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stingle trying to set up a 2-man game. Going to move to his left. Draws a slide. That pass knocked down. Good play by the pole there for Londonderry. Austin Callahan, who has been active in this first half.
Watch out.
Mike Gormley almost ended up with the ball there out in front. Instead, he's going to have to regroup on the far wing. Pinkerton's going to make a sub here. Coach Osier wants Jeff Gormley to come on. Set it out in front, near side wing, extra pass, gets behind the cage. Intended along that near post for Ushkevich.
Yeah.
Instead, turned over to the Lancers.
I like the look. I like what they were thinking there. Just keep moving it downhill, and they could have connected there with a better pass.
Meanwhile, this Astro ride has been effective in this first half. We see a double team here. Heward looking for air. And instead, we get a timeout from Coach Ward.
Yeah.
Heads up timeout from the first-year head coach. Going to bail his guy out and hope to draw something up with his club down 4-2, nearly 2 minutes in second quarter.
Yeah, and even despite the aggressive ride by the Astros, the Lancers are still 5 out of 7 on the clear so far, and they're just very aggressive, and that's proof right there at half field what tenacious rides can do. We've seen that. We've seen some really good rides this year. We've just seen some really bad clears too this year. So it's been a mixed bag. But riding and clearing is a huge part of the game. If you're not winning faceoffs, especially, and your goalie is rising to the occasion that we've seen many, many times, and you've got to clear the ball. That's a big part of the game.
Midseason battle here, week number 4, statewide. Hard to believe it, but only another 3 or so weeks remaining.
I know. I was looking at
in the
that.
regular season.
I know. Yeah.
But of course, we'll have tournament coverage here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire as well, but it just seems to go by quicker and quicker every season.
Yeah, and I think for me anyways, it has to do with the weather. I always look at this part of the season, we get this one stretch that always just knocks us right out. And I'm just putting my hands together and praying for June, and next thing you know, it is June, you know.
Yeah, it's been rainy the last few days, but very nice today. Temperature at game time near 68 degrees. Out of the timeout, Lancers hoping to jumpstart the attack. They have not scored since they had an extra man on the field. About 5 minutes into the game. We're 2 minutes here into the second quarter. Back to even strength. Londonderry going to take their time. This is Campbell Going to find a little bit of space to his right, being ridden pretty hard here by Cole Mackin.
So, Londonderry maybe just a little bit cold here, too. They were supposed to play Dover earlier in the week, speaking of the weather, and that game got rained out, so they did not play. So they haven't played since last week. Nice play.
There it is. Thompson to Heward. I don't know how that pass got through, but it did, and Heward was in the right spot to lay it in. All of a sudden, Lancers are back within a goal at 4-3.
Was this Walden on the feed coming across? No?
I thought it was Blake Thompson.
Yeah, from up top. Yeah, you're right, it was. Okay. But
and you can see there just right through the heart of that defense.
It's second goal tonight where they've threaded the needle through the box and have found that down low attackman, and Heward's been the benefactor.
Second goal for Heward. And Londonderry showing they're ready to fight. Back within a goal. Stingle hoping to flip the momentum. Wins the faceoff straight up for Pinkerton. Trying to push the issue here deep into the zone. Now the Astros will recycle it back up top for the junior Tyler Berry. Shadows starting to grow long as the sun sets here in southern New Hampshire. We approach the 7 o'clock hour. And again, Roger, sometimes can be a little tricky down at that end of the field at this time of day.
Yeah, on this end, not so bad. On the other end, it's all in sun, like the right field of Fenway on a Saturday afternoon. It's pretty brutal on that side. At least there's a little bit of tree cover here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Barry to the right, being steered towards the corner by defender Austin Callahan. And now a one-on-one for Ushkevich.
Nice feed.
Mike Gormady splits two, banger.
Yep.
A gorgeous maneuver there to survive the initial hit. Offers the bouncer. And he's got the hat trick here with 3.5 gone by in the second quarter.
Yeah. You cannot stick check this guy. You have got to put a body on him. And he just basically rolls inside two guys. Okay. The attempt there was to put him on the ground by number 24. But he's just too slippery and too quick.
Third goal from Mike Gormady. Had help from Jeff Gormady and Kyle Yushkevich. Lancers have seen 2 goals from Owen Heward and 1 from Brody Campbell that opened the game. Meanwhile, another face-off win for Pinkerton, but the scooper pass was knocked down.
They're offsides. They're way offsides.
Ground ball goes to Londonderry's Colby Walden. And now Brody Campbell looking to get inside the defender, gets crunched near the goal, and now he's down and injured. Well, we already saw Pinkerton's Jackson Farrell take a big hit. Fortunately here for Londonderry, they see their player get up after being down there for a moment. Now we have a loose ball off the outlet pass. Scooped up near side, good ground ball get there for Ryan Hughes. And the junior for Pinkerton still has it after crossing midfield. Hughes down the middle. Pass out in front, Ushkevich across, and it's finished off by guess who?
Wow.
That's Mike Gormady. And that's number 4. Back-to-back goals for Gormady. And Pinkerton going to take their biggest lead here at 6-3.
Well, again, this is what Coach Ozier wanted to do. He wanted to play transition and move that ball upfield fast, and he got what he was asking for. And a great look. Some of the looks tonight by both teams through the boxes, they've been just amazing. Just really good awareness.
Another pass across the zone, and then got a guy right there on the doorstep. We've seen that a few times for both teams.
Yeah. Got a battle.
6-3 Pinkerton. 2 straight by the Astros. Home team looking for another face-off win from Dylan Stingle, and they'll get it. Stingle able to kind of box out his man. That time it was Griffin Cunningham, the opponent at X.
Too much stick.
Astros won a 3rd straight. Nearly 5 minutes gone by, second quarter. Pinkerton has played with the lead most of the way.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, a little miscommunication here. Astros run out of space and turn it over. Ayotte had it for a moment for Londonderry. He's helped out now by the goaltender, St. Gelais. And now the clear effort in the stick of Andrew Cody. The long pole senior lost it from behind after crossing midfield. Scooped up by the Astros, Blaska. Now Blaska, pole in his own right, gets rid of it just in time. Step down on the wing, Gormady lets it loose. And what ends up wide, not a play. It'll stay at this end with Pinkerton.
Yeah, and give it to Cam Ayotte on that last play. I mean, he was hustling hard like he always does. He had a great game last year, I remember.
Approaching the midway point, second quarter. Pinkerton threatening to extend their largest lead. They're going to clear it out, it looks like, Roger. One-on-one behind the cage.
Yeah. Not sure what they're figuring out here on defense, though.
As Levi Weaver's pass is knocked down. Ball loose on the far side. Ushkovich gets to it. Jeff Gormady, backdoor. A low offering denied by St. Gelais. Right place, right time for Mike Gormady, but a better save there for St. Gelais. And the sophomore goaltender keeps this thing at 6-3.
And now the field clears are starting to rack up and affect the Lancers. They needed a break there after a great save by St. Gelais. And
what has it been about this Pinkerton ride that has been so troublesome for Londonderry?
Well, I see a lot of the Lancers vacating their own clear area. They're not leaving a lot, so what it's doing is that it's allowing the midfielders from Pinkerton and the attackmen that are dropping back in their ride to pick up the outlets much easier. We'll watch it a little more closely because I just don't see a lot of help down low in an organized type setup clear. And then when they are getting it up, they're throwing it out of bounds, and that's where the pressure's coming.
Astros trying to take advantage of another turnover. Barry was hoping to post one himself, instead forced to get rid of it. Mike Gormady with room off the switch. Hooks up with Jeff on the wing. Approaching the 5-minute mark, first half. We'll shake and bake, slide, drop by Ushkovich, and then St. Gelais scoops out of the cage.
Now watch this clear. He's got three guys up. He's got help down low, and the goalie's going to throw it up top.
Sophomore goes off the back foot with the pass. It's off target. Trying to hook up with Kyle Woodward. Pinkerton, though, is going to give it right back. Walden has it. Going to find space amongst three defenders. Reverses, and now Campbell takes over with a little bit of breathing room, but not much. The Astro pressure defensively has been there and has been constant throughout. Campbell trying to dance away from his defender. That's Ronan Connors. To the right side. This is Delory. Hoping to operate on the wing. Now two men behind the cage, including Walden,
play.
who finds Heward, who finds the goal and takes a big hit, and this time the flags do fly. Heward knocked down after the release. We saw a similar play back in the first quarter that wasn't whistled. This one is. Londonderry a chance here to build. They're back within two at 6-4.
Well, this is turning out to be the points connection for the Lancers. I like what I've seen out of these two. Heward's having a game, and Walden just keeps giving him apples all day. What do we got here? Okay. So number 10 in the box for a CC.
That's James Caruso, the junior. Second Pinkerton penalty of this first half. The cross-check is a minute, and it comes with just over 4 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Very important, and I was just about to say, this is a very important face-off for Londonderry, and they're putting Cam Ayotte out on the X. Anticipating that if they do lose this, obviously they'll have their best defender on Stengel right off the bat and try to get that ball back and do something with this 1 minute that they got.
Stengel's giving Pinkerton a big advantage at the face-off X.
Yeah.
Ayotte trying to change that. He won't this time.
But he's going to hang with him.
Stengel
Oh,
showing the speed here, the junior. Going to change direction, throw it behind the cage, back across to Mike Gormady, who gets hit from behind, and now a flag will fly.
yeah, we're going to see a push there.
Gormady, meanwhile, gets inside and scores again. Well, this kid has taken a number of hits in this first half, and Londonderry has not been able to slow him down. Another score. Pinkerton Well, they're going to go back up 3 here, 7-4.
So that's going to be a shorthanded goal. We have seen some shorthanded goals this year.
We have.
Unbelievable. And that's going to negate the push. So, yeah. So Pinkerton's still down 1.
Meanwhile, Gormany's got 5 goals.
5 goals.
2 in that first quarter, 3 more so far in this second.
Yeah, and 4 of his 5 are unassisted. He
go.
is just chugging away out there. Oh, I think he moved. Yep, he did. Yep, he did.
Stengel's been nearly perfect, but a little early that time.
Yeah.
Lancers hoping to cash in. They need it here, Roger, down 3.
They do.
Inside of 4 minutes now until halftime.
They do.
And as you mentioned, it can be tough for the goaltender down at this end of the field, staring into the sunlight. Walden tried to bounce her, ends up wide. They've been tipped as well. Either way, it'll stay with Londonderry.
Yeah, let's give Colby a shout out. He scored his 100th point as a attackman just recently after being one of the top goaltenders in the state.
Walden score another one here. Right on cue. He goes upstairs. Top shelf from about 12 yards out to make it a 7-5 affair. Walden, as we know, great multi-sport athlete at Londonderry High School, but you said it, Roger, began his career as the starting goaltender. And after making that switch a couple of seasons back, has become one of the premier attackmen for Londonderry.
Yeah, I remember you and I did the game over at Londonderry when one of the first games, I would say, that he was not in goal.
Right.
And I can remember my son Matthew and I, who was a goalie, we were talking about him, and just like, why, are you kidding me? He's got a short stick in his hand, and yeah, he's living the dream. He's going to Plymouth. He's going to play. He's going to play attack at Plymouth, which, by the way, is where his father played attack. His father, Scott, who's on the coaching staff here at Londonderry, he was a very good attackman up there.
It's a cool story.
Yeah, still plays club. Still plays club out there.
So Walden the younger, helping Londonderry climb back within 2. Pinkerton, though, hoping to reestablish that 3-goal lead. St. Gillet, they lay out there, able to beat the Pinkerton player by the head of the stick, full extension.
Here's that bad pass on the clear. Now he's covered, and number 3 is wide open. So why are we passing it to a covered long pole?
Good close
so
by the defender,
up.
Jack Ford.
Walk it up, kid.
Here comes St. Gillet.
Walk it up. Get played by a guy and free up some time.
Well, now he's going to hit the gas.
Yep, and look where his teammate is on the long side of the field.
Still going to hit the gas. Going to swim all the way down before he's knocked down, and that's going to draw a flag.
Yeah, that's going to draw a second flag.
A second flag was thrown a few seconds after the first, back at midfield. So trouble on the way for Pinkerton.
I think this is going to be number 8 for Pinkerton.
Well, it's been a hard-hitting first half. We expected a rough and tumble game. 2 rivals, 2 neighboring towns. And we have gotten that. But Pinkerton not been able to walk that fine line between aggression and committing a penalty. That's the 3rd infraction of this first half. This one sends Brendan Carney, one of the juniors, to the box. No argument from Carney. But again, Pinkerton shorthanded here with 2:30 to go before the break.
Yeah, and Pinkerton, they can't be in the box. There's been 2 EMO goals by Londonderry already tonight, and here's the 3rd chance for them. Yeah, I think we'll work the other side of the field, boys. Look at the sun field.
What do we see here defensively, Roger? 2-3?
Well, they're in a box and 1, traditional 5 guys and 1 in the middle, and just not a lot of movement by Londonderry.
Eventually sets up a Blake Thompson shot. It'll stay with Londonderry.
Yeah. So, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary here at all. Just nice and tight. Good sweep across. And
shot and score, same spot. It's Walden. From almost the identical spot he scored from a moment ago. Same type of shot as well, as that one stays high, goes over the left shoulder of the goaltender, and it's a 1-score game.
Yeah, and I want to know why that defenseman is coming that far across the top of the box to cover Colby. That doesn't make a lot of sense. That's not a tight box, and that's not the pistoning in and out that you want to see, or the rotation from the defense when you're in a box and one like that. Just kind of a weird way of cross covering.
So the veteran senior, Colby Walden, scoring back-to-back goals for Londonderry, the latest on the EMO. And with inside of 2 minutes remaining, Pinkerton's lead has been trimmed to 1.
Nice play.
Score really quickly. It's, you know who it is at this point, Mike Gormady, another. His 6th of this first half. And it comes just on the heels of the Walden goal. In fact, just 15 seconds later to make it 8-6 Pinkerton.
Yeah, you can't have that. You can't be grabbing the momentum away from a hot Astros team like that and just allow them to stroll right down and bank one here. But how smooth are the Astros when they come out of transition like that? That's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. What a first half individually for Mike Gormady. Sorry, Matt Gormady.
Matt, yeah.
Hope I haven't been calling him Mike too long. Matt Gormady. He's got 6 goals in this first half. You saw a player from Winnicott a few weeks ago scored 9 for the game. Gormady on pace.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, on pace for a dozen here.
Yeah.
With 90 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, it might be time to face guard Mr. Gormady by the second half.
We may see some adjustment from Coach Ward.
You know, I've been surprised that they haven't tried to keep Cam out on him almost constantly, though. In all honesty, they knew that he was going to be a runner.
All right, we've got coming up on the final minute to play until halftime. Coming up at halftime, stats, highlights, and analysis. Out-of-town scoreboard as well. We've got NCAA scores to get to, women's scores.
Kind of a minor upset out west today, from what I'm hearing.
So we'll get to all that coming up at halftime. Good save here. St. Gelais ready for that one, chin high. It's another stop for the Lancers. He's looked sharp at times.
Again.
The clear has been a challenge, though.
Clear needs some work.
Dylan Tuff's long rainbow pass over the head of Ayotte. Takes a high bounce along that far sideline. Heward is knocked down in the process. The ball rolls out of play and is given back to Pinkerton with inside of 28 seconds.
Yeah, that part of their game needs some work, like so many other teams out there.
Meanwhile, Pinardi has been physical in this first half, absorbs a check. Crosses midfield for the Astros. Down to 15 seconds. Pinardi still with it, double teamed, and now a timeout from Coach Osier.
Yeah, he took a shot up high, too.
That'll be the Astros' final timeout of this first half. It comes with just inside of 14 seconds, 13.6 remaining. Enough time for the home team to set up a shot.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we've seen it.
Well, again, Matt Gormady has been on another level. 2 goals in that first quarter, and then 4 more so far in this second quarter, one of them coming shorthanded at about the 4-minute mark. We've seen some special individual performances. This one right up there in terms of a half that you and I have seen, Roger.
Yeah, and it seems like the further and further and deeper we get into the season, we are just seeing more and more players that are just exhibiting skills that we just have not seen in many of the broadcasts that we've done. Just multiples of goals, and I've said it before. I said it a couple times early in the season, just how amazed I am at the skill level that New Hampshire lacrosse has come to in the 30-something years I've been involved in youth all the way up through college, and it's such a great thing to see. And it's not just because it's Pinkerton. They've been traditionally a powerhouse, but I mean like Beckett Rath at Oyster River.
You're talking overall statewide.
Yeah, just everywhere. It just seems that there are more and more boys and girls. Mm-hmm. I don't want to discount the girls' game, but because for the first time in a long time, I really gotten to know the girls' game and really enjoy watching the girls' game, where I didn't for the longest time. I didn't understand it, and that skill level is what has brought me around on even the girls' game. But just amazing what we're seeing out there in the state.
We'll have our first girls broadcast next week as well. Friday, you and I are on the road at Bedford to see Andover take on the Bulldogs on the boys' side. Meanwhile, 13.6 remaining. Pinkerton with an 8-6 lead. They've led by as many as 3, hoping to equal that margin just before halftime with a goal here. It's Matt Gormady. He's been worth the price of admission, guarded by Cam Ayotte.
There we go.
To his left as the clock restarts. Pass high, intended for the cutter in the middle. That's Jackson Farrell. Good to see him back on the field after taking a big hit that sidelined him temporarily back in the first quarter. Londonderry left with 7 seconds, trying to go the length of the field. St. Gelais lets it fly, and down it goes behind the cage. Heward with a leaping effort, and that'll bring us to halftime. 8-6 Pinkerton at the break. Londonderry hanging around. Trailed by as many as 3. Led at one point about midway through that first quarter by a score of 2-1. But certainly the Lancers within shouting distance at halftime, trailing Pinkerton once again by a score of 8-6.
Yeah, I would tell you that if it weren't for the fact that the Astros put themselves in the penalty box there in that first half, with the Lancers capitalizing on all 3 of those penalties, this would be a completely different game. They'd be down by 5, not 2.
Coming up, we'll take a look back at that first half. Stats, highlights, analysis, full complete out-of-town scoreboard as well. Busy Wednesday here in week number 4. 8-6 Pinkerton over Londonderry. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Our broadcast in the country. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Halftime here in Derry. Pinkerton leading Londonderry 8-6 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. Lancers got off to the start they want, seeking their 5th win in their last 6 games. Scored first. Brody Campbell made it 1-0 4 minutes in. Pinkerton came right back with a Matt Gormady blazing goal. Tie the game at 1. More on Matt Gormady in a moment. What a first half for that youngster. Londonderry took a 2-1 lead. Owen Heward also scored a hat trick for the Lancers in that first half. Cashed in on the first of many EMOs. And then again, Londonderry led 2-1 about midway through that first quarter. But the frame ended on a high note for the home team. Pinkerton scores 3 in a row. Matt Gormady, Jeff Gormady, then Kyle Ushkevich. 4-2 Pinkerton after 1. Second quarter, Heward again. Cuts the lead in half for Londonderry, 2.5 minutes in, 4-3 Astros at that point. Then back-to-back Matt Gormady goals. Pushes the lead to 6-3, Pinkerton, their largest at the time. Heward comes right back at the 4-minute mark to make it 6-4. There's the hat trick. And then Matt Gormady, short-handed. Just, 19 seconds after the Heward goal. Pushed the lead again to 7-4. Then Colby Walden got hot. Same spot, same result. 12-meter step down. It looked good. Back-to-back goals there for Gormady. The second was an EMO. Back-to-back goals for Walden for Londonderry. The second was an EMO. That took us to inside of 2 minutes to go in the first half. And then with a $1.47, again a quick answer for Pinkerton. We saw that become a theme. Gormady scores his 6th goal in that first half. 6 of the 8 for Pinkerton. And right now, that's clearly the difference with the Astros out in front by a score of 8-6.
Yeah, difference being Gormady, for the Astros, and the on the Londonderry side. If it weren't for the fact that those EMOs popped up and they capitalized on them, we'd be talking about a different score. I mean, sometimes you look at the numbers in games. I mean, you see the dominance by the Astros at the faceoff X with both their guys. And just how poorly the Lancers are clearing the ball today. You'd think this would be even a more lopsided game, given the fact that the Astros are clearly more dominant on offense. But no, we got a 2-goal difference, and the way that these two teams scrap and just work you. Anything can happen. I think they obviously got the Lynch's got to do something with Gormady, and they got to clean up the clearing game.
There is a picture in real time of longtime and former head coach of the Pinkerton Astros, Brian O'Reilly. Goes back, of course, to the club days before the NHLAA made lacrosse a sport in 1994. Of course, he retired after a championship in 2019. And still kind of there with the program in the background. That's longtime head man and current athletic director, Brian O'Reilly. Other scores from around the NHLAA as we get set to start this second half here in Derry. South with a win over North, 12-2.
In the big Monson Bowl there, the Battle of the Rivers.
Or the Battle of the Bridge.
The Bridge, yeah.
12-2 the final there. Not much of a battle. South with a big win. Exeter smashed Merrimack 12-1.
Wow. That's a surprise.
Probably an angry win there for Exeter. Following Monday's 2-goal loss against Pinkerton. Salem with a win. Congratulations. They beat Wyndham 14-10.
Good for the
final there. On the girls' side, Pinkerton-Londonderry rivalry over at Londonderry High School, and at Lancer Park it was Pinkerton who prevailed. They put up 16 in the process to get a big win. Astros certainly in the Division I mix on the girls' side.
Yeah.
Second half begins with another Pinkerton face-off win. They have now won 13 of the 15 at X so far today.
Yeah. Derryfield gets a big win today, too, over Pembroke. Still go 9-0.
Cougars still undefeated in D2. In NCAA D2 tournament action, we had a rematch of the NE10 quarterfinals earlier today in the NCAA first round. St. Anselm beats Bentley by a score of 17-6. The Hawks will host Seton Hill coming up on Saturday. That's a 1 o'clock start.
Yeah, and that was their 4th win this season against Bentley.
That's correct.
That is hard to do.
Very hard. Almost unheard of.
Almost unheard of.
St. Anselm led by former Bedford head coach Drew Bordeaux in year number 1 up there, hoping to get back to another NCAA Final Four.
Co-coach of the year in NE10 this year.
Yeah. Meanwhile, good defense here from Londonderry. They forced the giveaway, but they still got a ground ball to contend with behind their cage. St. Gelais trying to help out. Now it's the long pole, Dylan Tufts, trying to keep that alive before stepping out of bounds. It's intercepted by Jeff Gormady. And now Gormady with room. Gormady thinking about going to the cage, going to swoop behind instead, stop, reverse. Still got Tufts all over him. Nothing there for Pinkerton in the end, and the Astros will regroup. Meanwhile, Quintilani going to draw a slide here on the near wing. Give it over to Mike Gormady. Skip pass. Jeff is ready. Shot there. Whizzes by the cage. And a good play by St. Gelais. Able to exit quickly enough, stick out the stick. For the second time today, makes the difference for his team. It's Londonderry possession. And by the way, just to complete the scoreboard, Roger, one final score for those who are interested. Boston beating up on New York on the MLB circuit, 19-9 is the score there.
Wow.
You know, look at this. This is Andrew Cody, almost a one-man clearing machine, but runs out of room at midfield. Good play by 2 Astro defenders. Now they've got numbers. Jeff Gormady, catch, spin, shot wide.
Oh.
And again, St. Gelais.
So here's the biggest controversy, you see almost every game in lacrosse. It's closest to the ball when it goes out, not closest to the end line. And although that official had his back to the Astros player in the corner, St. Gelais was still closest to the ball when it went out of bounds.
Lancers may have caught a break.
And they finally get a clear.
Here's Cam Ayotte. Long pole trying to shield against 2 defenders. The bounce pass is knocked away. Good play by Pinkerton's Jackson, or make that Nathan Smith. But again, a turnover. Yeah. Walden up ahead for Heward. Shot and a save.
Wow.
Burwell waving the wand, and the score remains 8-6.
Yeah, his first save since early in the first quarter. He did not see a lot of rubber come his way.
Stopped it with the left elbow. Get a look at the replay. Heck of a save by the junior. His 3rd stop today. 3 minutes in, 3rd quarter. Same halftime score. Londonderry down 2 with the ball.
Now, we're told Owen Perkins is out this game with an injury to his hand, so that's why we're seeing all of Burwell today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bounce pass. Heward trying to track it down in front of Burwell. The ball's going to roll behind the cage before it's scooped up in the corner.
Oh, nice switch. Now look at the difference here in the Astros clear.
Jackson Chase gets to the ground ball. Burwell going to fish it out near side for Quintilani, who comes back to make the catch. Trying to shield it from 2.
They're going to run out of time here.
Chase, long pass, intercepted. That's Tyler Knapp. Knapp down the middle. Has Heward, who does the rest. And a flag is going to fly. Knapp was hit on the pass, lost his helmet. Took a shot up under the chin, and we may see an Astro penalty here with their lead now trimmed to 8-7.
And another one. We got another flag, too. So this might be, it looks like Brady Blaska might be heading out on this one. So number 24 gets, big time cross check there.
That was the original flag, which is down at the 36. There was a second flag thrown later, back at about the 26-yard line. We're going to get the explanation here shortly from the officials. Mike Toth has been busy today.
Yes, he has.
Been a rough game as well, physical. We expected that. 2 players that went down briefly in that first half with apparent injuries, but did return. Astros committed 3 penalties in that first half, 1 against Londonderry.
I suspect the first one's going to be a cross-check, but definitely a dead ball foul, too. Locked in to the head. That's on 7. That's Brady Blaska. Procedure. Ooh. Okay.
So the second penalty is on Jeff Gormady.
He didn't make a motion. I didn't see the number. It could be a double on number 7.
Okay.
He did not indicate another number. Normally you would see him do a 4 there, but I did not see that.
Meanwhile, Hewitt has scored number 4 for Londonderry. Has led the way for the Lancers. And it's 8-7. It's been tight throughout. Pinkerton led by 3, a couple of different points in that first half, that second quarter. Londonderry makes it a 2-goal game at halftime. Hewitt scores here, draws a penalty in the process. Meanwhile, there's a Lancer now down in the box, Roger.
That was the kid that got hit.
Right. That's Tyler Knapp, who is having a word with Pinkerton's Brady Blaska. As the two sit across from each other in the penalty box.
Yeah, I'm not.
So it may have been something. May have been something that Knapp said to the official.
It had to be, because now, I mean, both it's a dead ball foul. Pinkerton's got it, so the last foul was on Londonderry, so it has to be. Yeah, he has to be in the box for this.
So a cross check against Blaska, and then some kind of a penalty against Knapp of Londonderry. Meanwhile, a shot here is going to ricochet off the crossbar and belong to Pinkerton. It's a pretty good look on the run from Jackson Farrell. Inches away from making it a 2-goal game. Instead, it stays 8-7. 4 minutes gone by, third quarter. Lancers looking for their 5th win of the season against longtime rival Pinkerton. Astros hoping to keep the ball rolling after a win over Exeter on Monday. A victory tonight would be their 8th of the season in 10 tries. Meanwhile, Pinkerton trying to find the right combination. This is Pernardi. Leaves it off. Now a step down bouncer that ends up wide. Pretty good look for Farrell.
All right, we got the call. So it was unsportsmanlike conduct on number 24 after the goal.
Yep.
And that is why he's sitting. Why he got locked, I don't know. I don't think I've seen that before, but.
Meanwhile, Lancers bring on an extra defender. The pass ends up out in front. Quinzolani's got an easy one. Benjamin Quinzolani, one of the tri-captains, senior on his way to Southern New Hampshire, longtime vet with the program. Gets his first goal today. Nobody home in the middle defensively there, Roger, and Quinzolani makes the Lancers pay. 9-7 Pinkerton.
Yeah, and this is not going to be an EMO goal. But laxed coverage, and they were back 6-on-6, so not quite sure what happened with the lapse in defense here. But right up the gut.
Yep, the bouncer able to beat St. Gelais. 9-7 Astros. Comes with nearly 5 minutes gone by third quarter. That quiets the blue and white portion of this crowd. It's about a 50-50 split here. Short ride, as we know, for the Lancers and their fans across town lines. Another win for Dylan Stingle. He's been a big storyline so far, and a positive one if you're an Astro fan, as he wins yet another faceoff. Trying to avoid a number of defenders, gets yanked down from behind, lost the stick, and now a flag is going to fly.
Yeah, it's going to be
Stingle gets his own ground ball. We get a fanned shot on that far side. The ball ends up on the carpet. It's still loose as it rolls towards that far sideline, pushing and shoving. Ball is still free, and now Ayotte does get to it to draw the whistle.
This will be on Ayotte. It's going to be a big-time slash.
Well, things have been chippy, Roger.
It's Londonderry Pinkerton.
We expected that. We expected that, but
it was just a matter of time in my book.
Is this against Ayotte?
It certainly looked like it to me. A hold? My God, he laid so much lumber out there.
It's a hold against the Lancers, and it's on Griffin Cunningham, the freshman.
Okay. Well, I've been wrong before, so.
So Cunningham to the box. Meanwhile, Brady Blaska is still serving that locked penalty for Pinkerton.
Yeah, Yeah.
Astros trying to cash in his absence. Jackson Farrell. He's gotten off a couple of good looks last couple of shots, but for the last couple of trips, 2 good contested shots.
It must have been.
One of them hit the crossbar a moment ago.
Yeah, it had to have been a 2-minute, and we just missed the call there because they are still, they're 5-on-5, and look at this.
Shot.
Oh, no, off.
And wide. Kept alive behind the cage. Quintilani now to his left is going to shoot and score.
That's going to be
back-to-back goals for Ben Quintilani. He comes charging towards the net there to make it a 10-7 affair.
So that will be an EMO goal for them. Their first of the day.
Yep. They're surrendering 2 for Londonderry in the first half.
Yeah, and that hurts. That hurts because Londonderry should have been capitalizing on this lock penalty for 2 minutes, and they just couldn't do it.
See there, the first effort by Farrell. He thought he had it. Heads-up play behind the cage by Jack Ford. Haven't said his name enough today. Ford, the sophomore, he's played well. I believe gets an assist there. After keeping it inbounds, he may have fed Quintilani on that shot. Either way, that play doesn't happen without Ford's presence. Meanwhile, Stengel made his presence known. Another face-off win for the Astros as we hit the midway point third quarter. Home team threatening to take their largest lead yet. Londonderry hoping for a stop, needing a stop here.
All right, now we're back to full strength on both sides.
Pass into a Londonderry crowd. Out of the fray comes Cody. The long pole. Free pass to midfield. He'll slow down a bit, make a move to his right, draw a slide, flicks it over the top, but can't connect with Cody Playden. Hewer trying to hack at it. The ground ball goes to Carney. The long outlet pass is taken by another pole. That's Chase. The pass later, it's Farrell trying to shake off Ayotte. Nowhere to go as Ayotte steers him back towards midfield.
All right, pick him up. Pick him up, Lancers.
Here's Matt Gormady, the star of the first half. Had not one but 2 hat tricks. 6 goals in the first 2 quarters. Although Londonderry has kept him off the scorer's sheet since. We're down to 5 minutes third quarter. Pinkerton with their largest lead on the board. They've played with the lead most of the night. They did trail 2-1 about midway through the first quarter. Here's a bouncer. It's Levi Weaver, the freshman. Good placement on that one. Astros building up some momentum here. 3 unanswered goals to make it a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, look at the lack of defense here, though. He just gets blown out of his shoes here. No help at all on the backside, and number 16 just can't keep up with that speed. And a great placement, as you said, Nick, on the shot.
We've seen a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen contribute today for both teams. And we see it again there.
Yeah.
As Levi Weaver, just a freshman, scores for the first time tonight. Whistle. Somebody went early. It was Jones of the Astros. Lancers awarded possession. Cunningham going to keep it. And now Cunningham trying to angle his way towards the net, looking for a man out in front. No. Tried to hook up with Campbell. Instead, Burwell puts out the fire, gets out the outlet pass.
Oh!
And then it's intercepted. Taken away on a good athletic play by Aiden Marshall, the junior. Now Marshall trying to marshal the troops. Heward instead is going to pull it out, goal line extended, and Londonderry is going to start over.
Smart play. Smart play by Heward. Get your guys back. You were in transition on, on that ride, getting your defensive midfielders out there. Give them a chance here, guys. Get a good possession.
Heward, quick feed. Behind the net, Walden. Back for Heward, trying to draw the defender out. That's Nate Smith. Smith up to the challenge, trying to pin Heward. Heward to his right. Trying to shake off the bigger body defender. Now Campbell takes over straight away with room to breathe.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him tonight. He's been playing tough. Had a bad, not a bad assignment. He had a tough assignment tonight, having Heward.
Heward with 4 goals to lead Londonderry. Meanwhile, Brody Campbell got the scoring started way back in the first quarter. Turns it over as Chase took it away from him. Thompson trying to keep it alive along that far sideline for Londonderry. Instead, it belongs to Pinkerton.
Yeah, good ride by the Lancers there. Now look how they bring down an attackman or a midfielder right down to the box. That's like old school lacrosse, simple, but
this one flies out awkwardly and is turned over. Not sure what happened there, as Jeff Gormady looks skyward, confused.
Yeah, but they're bringing Quintilani down. They've been bringing Gormady down. Get him to that defensive side of the box and get a body down.
Meanwhile, Londonderry in search of a goal here as we had 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Trailing by 4. The pass over the top, nobody home. Handled on the second bounce by Londonderry's Thompson. And now Thompson downhill. They're begging him to go left. He will. Draws a slide. Nobody home.
But no recovery by Astros, so yep, there it is.
Pass to the middle is knocked down. In the fray is Ronan Connors. And in the end, another ground ball for Jackson Chase. The outlet from Burwell.
Oh.
Big collision here. 2 Lancer defenders in the area. Ball up for grabs. Chase is there. Takes it off the hip. Long pole, looking for help. Throws it over his shoulder. Connors trying to get an angle on it. Picks it up off the bounce, and I think...
Failure.
Yep, we get a violation.
Well, Londonderry showing some spunk on their ride.
Astros handled the clear well in that first half. Perhaps the best defensive ride possession we've seen from Londonderry.
Yeah, they were 7 for 13. Or excuse me, they were 6 for 7 on clears. They didn't have clear opportunities because they were obviously putting the ball in the net a lot, but and winning faceoffs, by the way. So, but no, the Londonderry Lancers are playing a little more aggressive on their ride for once.
Pinkerton had leads of 4-2 after 1. 8-6 at halftime. And the Lancers are going to chip into it here with inside of 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Another goal for Colby Walden. That's his third. So the hat trick makes it an 11-8 ball game.
Yeah, so he goes one-on-one against Brady Blaska, who's been playing him most of the night. And, he takes him right to the rack. Gives him a little schooling there in that little 5x5 area. Didn't even have to roll back or anything. He just took it right to that spot and made a nice shot. Yeah.
Walden, who...
Nice little head fake, though, too, by Colby. Faking that far corner and then going a little up.
As you mentioned, recently celebrated his 100th career goal at Londonderry. Scored 3 more today. He's keeping his team in the game. Final 100 seconds. Third quarter, Pinkerton hoping to reestablish their largest lead. Matt Gormady is going to slow it way down here on the near wing. Pass up top, contested and intercepted. Taken away by Callahan. Callahan. Bounce pass far side, it's Woodward. Astros trying to scramble to get back. Pinkerton hoping to press the advantage. All right, but nothing shaking there for Campbell.
Yeah. Play it nice and slow here, Londonderry.
Final shot, maybe?
I think you do. I think you go into it with 2 goals back-to-back here, and you just you can't get tied with 1 possession. So just feel good about this quarter.
Aiden Stoll's going to pull it out.
Yeah.
Clock inside of a minute. Down to 50 seconds. Stoll giving room far side. Hughes is the defender. Campbell. A little bit of a game of keep away at this point as the clock winds down. Nearing 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Now Trey Campbell. Nowhere to go. He's escorted behind the cage by Mackin. 2 men behind net now. Here's Heward. Clock at 20 seconds.
Not where you want to be right now with this very aggressive Astros defense. See?
That pass knocked down. And it's Cole Mackin who got a stick on it. And Burwell launches a long outlet, too long, in fact, for Caleb Hompton. Ball ends up out of bounds back to Londonderry. Lancer's going to have to hurry. 7 seconds. Ayotte will restart. 2 defenders in the area. Whips a crisp pass. Gets Thompson. Thompson to his left, trying to find room to get the shot off. Got to hurry. Bouncer won't get through. And that will do it for the third quarter. Londonderry hanging around. Although it's the Astros out in front with a 3-goal cushion as we take the final turn. Fourth quarter next. Does Pinkerton hang on? Or does Londonderry come up with perhaps their biggest win of the season? We find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
We've got a ball game on our hands as we head to the fourth quarter in Derry. Pinkerton leading Londonderry 11-6 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. We're presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Well, some in the know may or may not have thought this was going to be a runaway. Think again, says head coach Jimmy Ward. He's got Londonderry humming. They're playing hard. Still with work to do. 12 minutes remaining, but certainly in the game against one of the best programs statewide.
Yeah, and you said it all at the very end of the third quarter before you signed off, that Londonderry is hanging around. And they're almost like that, that you're sitting at your desk working or whatever, and you get this one fly that just like, and you're trying to get it, and you're trying to bat it down, and like black fly season is upon us here in the state, and, they aggravate you sometimes. And they're not playing great lacrosse, but they're right there all the time. We had said before the game started, you said, what do you think, Roger? 2-goal game? And I said,
we may get that.
I'm terrible at predicting
We may get
wins.
closer than that.
But you so far are right on there, Mr. Anastas.
Dylan Stengel has given Pinkerton a tangible advantage at midfield. Going to spark a break here. His pass, though, dropped by Ushkevich, recovered by the Astros. Gormady, tough angle shot there.
Poster.
Sent back. I was about to ask you that.
I thought it hit his leg.
We'll give it to St. Gillet.
I'm going to give it to him.
He's been seemingly getting stronger as the game has gone on. Londonderry trailed by as many as 4. That was moments ago late in the third quarter. It's a 2-goal halftime deficit. Lancers actually led by a score of 2-1 midway through the first quarter. But Pinkerton scored 3 straight in response and have not trailed since. A win tonight would be the 8th of the season for Pinkerton, their 2nd straight. And they would improve their Division I best record to 8-2. Lancers, with a victory on the road tonight, would shock many, frankly, and improve to 5-2 in the process.
Yeah, 5-2. Oh,
another
nice
save for St. Gillet. Looks skyward and comes away with that ground ball. Great job there controlling the rebound. The outlet pass is on point as well. This is now a juggling act here as Ayotte trying to get away from the pesky defender Tyler Bernardi. Walden out in front, and it's finished off by Brody Campbell.
Wow.
Campbell's second. Great pass from Walden. And don't look now, but it's a 2-score game. Less than a minute and a half into this fourth quarter.
Wow, what can you say about this Lancers team? They are just scrappers. Good clear for once, and they come down and they do just what the Astros have been doing nicely for most of this game, which is get into transition quickly, move the ball downfield, find the open man.
Both teams have had a number of transition goals tonight, Roger, that have been pretty to watch.
Yeah, the Astros have perfected that over the years, and they did not disappoint tonight. The Clears have, not been friendly to the Lancers, and they probably would be doing better themselves if they could keep that ball in their stick during the box battles here.
Meanwhile, it's been a one-sided affair at the face-off X in favor of Pinkerton.
Yeah, big time.
It's been mostly Dylan Stengel at X, but we've seen Aiden Jones contribute as well for Pinkerton. Got a one-on-one here. Quintilani scored both of his goals in the second half. The bounce pass, a little bit off target. That's going to send Jeff Gormady back to midfield. And a nice move there to avoid a potential hit to his left. He's got a man. Thinking about the shot initially was Weaver. The freshman thinks better of it, and now it's Jeff Gormady hitting the reset button for the home team.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness of Londonderry there with Mr. Lewis coming way up like that and challenging Gormady.
Kind of have to down 2 at this point in the game, right?
Yeah, still 9.5 minutes here. You don't have to get crazy, but I think that I might. Oh,
Jeff Gormady comes off the curl downhill and knows what to do.
Is that from his brother? I think it was.
Get another look at the replay. Second goal for Jeff Gormady. Comes at a big time for Pinkerton. It breaks up a mini run of 2 straight by Londonderry.
Yeah, this goes to Matt. Matt hardly played at all, and he finds little brother. Or big brother, that is.
Well, Jeff is the senior. And Matt the junior. It was Matt who had 6 goals in the first half for Londonderry. As the Astros built up an 8-6 halftime lead. Little bit of breathing room for Coach Auger. Now 12-9. Another win for Jones. Here he comes down the gauntlet. Gets knocked down. Ball takes a weird bounce back towards the home bench. That allows Stingle to reconnect. Another ground ball for the Fogo. Here he comes. Looks left side, dodging move, and a good score. That's a heck of a move in traffic for Kyle Ushkevich, the senior. Celebrates with his teammates for the second time tonight. He scored the team's 4th goal back in the first quarter. He strikes here with 3 minutes gone by in the 4th.
Yeah, and they had Stingle out there on the wing playing midfield. So he ends up getting an assist. We're going to give him an assist on this? I'm going to give him an assist.
Yeah?
There was.
I agree.
He was just rolling up. He wasn't really dodging there. But, we'll give. What I was about to say is Pinkerton seems to be lining up for, their next Fogo. I mean, Jones has been out there just as effective as Stingle was. Jones wins that faceoff, and Stingle ends up getting the assist.
And now we're going to take a look at a third man. That's Tyler Pinardi.
And Pinardi's been out there on both offense and defense as a midfielder tonight.
Yeah, he's played well. He's leveled out some big hits defensively, offered up some good on-ball pressure. Takes his first face-off here, and ultimately is going to win one for his team with 3 minutes gone by in this 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Jeff Gormady's on the move again. Left side, shot and score, Levi Weaver.
Wow.
And when it rains and pours, and right now it's coming down on Londonderry. 3 in a row for the Astros, Roger, all within 31 seconds.
Yeah.
3 goals in 31 seconds to make this, for the first time tonight, a 5-goal difference at 14-9.
And they were, the Lancers were in a fast break defense set there, but not really covering up. And that's just a great shot by Levi. Just a great shot.
Jeff Gormady is second 31 seconds ago. Ushkevich just 12 seconds ago. And now we see Weaver. All 3 of those kids have scored 2 goals in this game. Another face-off win for Dylan Stingle. Lost count of the number that he's got. Roger hasn't, though.
Yeah, I got you here. I got him for 14, 18, 21.
21 of what, 23?
21 of 23, 24, 25, 26.
Well, he hasn't taken all of them.
Huh?
He hasn't taken all of them.
No, I couldn't tell you that. Only so much room on this scorecard in my brain.
Meanwhile, Londonderry going to turn to the senior Ayotte, who's played a heck of a game today. He's going to just overpower his way to midfield for the clear. Now Walden thinking about it, hooks up and denied. At the doorstep was Brody Campbell. Good save there by Burwell as he flashes pole to pole, and in the end, Pinkerton wins the foot race. Nearly 4 minutes in, 4th quarter, and now a whistle.
There was a flag.
And it may be in the process of being picked up. Where is this?
This is the call. Pinkerton. Offsides, technical, of course. 25 on, this is on Levi.
So the freshman who has scored twice is going to have to hit the box here. No argument from the freshman.
So I can tell you that with the exception of 2 violations on Stengel, he's won everything else.
There you go. Outstanding performance. Astros shorthanded again after the penalty. Londonderry scorched them for 2 EMO goals in that first half. Hoping for a third here. Good closeout defense. That's Hobden hacking at the Londonderry player. Lancers do survive, though, and it's back up top. Step down shot. Walden lets it fly. Burwell gets a piece, redirects it out of play.
Give him credit. Colby can whip it. He does have a good shot.
Walden a hat trick tonight. Heward has been the high goal man for Londonderry with 4. And, of course, the game's high scorer is Pinkerton's Matt Gormady with 6.
Even strength.
Meanwhile, it's Heward off that far wing.
Oh, nice play.
Yep, and Burwell again. He's going to deny Odin Delory right at the doorstep there for save number 6. Meanwhile, the Astros go right back down the field. Surviving a big hit attempt near side is Farrell. Drops it off for the trailer. That's Hobden. Now Matt Gormady may look to burn a little clock here on that far wing. 5 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Clock starting to become a factor with the Astros up 5. Quintilani looking for Farrell out in front, and then Ushkovich whiffed. Out of the cage comes St. Gelais, takes a hit behind the net. The flag flies. The ball is still loose. Now, it is touched up by the Astros, but another penalty on the way against the home team.
I think it's going to be on Hobden. I think number 18 got up a little high, gave him a little chin with his stick. And it all really depends on whether or not we get a head call here. So watch here. Right here, his head went back, but I don't know if he made contact with the head.
This can't sit too well with Coach Ozier.
No. I mean, you're just about ready to sit on the ball with a long possession, and you come up with this.
Well, I just meant the number of penalties tonight.
Yeah, definitely a cross-check on Hobden. No lock, so no head. But, yeah, I mean, that's no coach is ever going to be happy with a lot of penalties, whether they're being, hurt by them on the scoreboard. You got to be able to control yourself because, you get into the BGs and the Bedfords that are coming up for them, you cannot be in the box. Not this many times. This is what? Their 6th penalty?
Coming up at the midway point, fourth quarter. Londonderry cycling the ball around, looking for their 3rd EMO goal. Walden's straightaway shot a little too deep. 15-yarder flies wide.
Yeah, I think if I'm Colby or if I'm Coach Ward, I think I put Colby in a little bit different spot and, try to get him out on a wing on a rotation.
Step down, save again. Burwell starting to rack up second half saves. Quick outlet, springs Connors. Connors on the clear. Connors to his left, finds Weaver. And now behind the cage is Jack Ford. Said it a moment ago, Roger. Probably that time of game with a big lead where they start to take some clock. Well, shows you what I know. Quick shot from Matt Gormady. Tough angle, ends up out of bounds. But we're inside of 6 minutes now.
Yeah, and, there's a comfortable lead there. That's a throw out. So now we got a tip. It was a tip.
It was a tip. It'll stay here.
Yeah. But, I mean, you don't want to end a game looking sloppy. And that's seems to be what's breaking down here a little bit for the Astros. A penalty, a drop ball, thrown out of bounds. Sharpen up, guys.
They have put together 3 straight. Hoping for a 4th here from Gormady. Matt's bouncer is wide. As we know, no shot clock in the NHIAA. Pinkerton free to take as much time as they feel necessary. Slide comes, pass is a little low.
Oh.
Now Quintilani off the screen, changed direction, spins right, shoots, and scores. Hat trick time for Benjamin Quintilani, and that one impressive. off the spin move to make it 15-9.
Yeah, when he scored those 2 back-to-back goals in the third, I was going to say that, you take your eye off or you start to really play hard on the Dermody twins. And next thing you know, Quintilani's going to the rack, and here he goes again. He earned this one, though. Those other 2, he was right up the gut, and he was right on the crease on the first one, and now he's right down the pipe, but he worked for that one.
Absorbed the contact.
He's been really good on this team for the last 3 years, I think. He's
a 3-year starter.
Yeah.
And a multi-sport athlete as well. He's one of Pinkerton's standout linebackers on a team that won the state championship back in the fall. Another face-off win for Stengel. He takes a hit, draws a slide, gets rid of it behind the cage as Pinkerton again looking to set up shop here with a big lead. We're inside of 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Step down, blazing bullet.
Wow.
And a save from the ground is made there by St. Gelais.
Another long bomb.
Outlet taken by Tufts. And now Hewitt scurrying along the sideline. Trying to circle away from the defender. It's taken over by Walden. Clock ticking down towards 4 minutes to go. We're under the lights here at Pinkerton Academy. And the lights becoming more and more necessary as the sun really begins to set here. We're past the 8 o'clock hour locally. 15-9 is the Pinkerton lead. That's their largest. It comes on the heels of 4 straight. And now the Lancers hoping to break a little bit of a spell here on this trip. A little bit of a scoreless streak. They haven't scored in the last 7 minutes. Close to it. Meanwhile, Walden forced out by Chase. Pass taken low down by the ankle. On the near side by Brody Campbell. Campbell's got a cutter. Pass dropped, and then a big hit, a clean hit. Laid there in front of the cage by Pinkerton's Connor Hathaway. Seen a couple of really football-like hits. Kids have been knocked to the ground, head over heels. Meanwhile, Jeff Gormady zigzagging his way there. The bouncer was wide, but will stay with the Astros as we close in on 3 minutes to go. Well, the good news is, Roger, we may or may not, but we may see a rematch between these two teams. Both teams expected to be Division I tournament contenders. And you never know, but of course, depending on which way things line up seed-wise, as we get another nice feed from behind the cage and a put-home goal by Jeff Gormady. He's got a hat trick now. 2 of those have come in this big fourth quarter for Pinkerton as the run continues. 5 unanswered. It's now 16-9 Astros.
Yeah, there's the Gormady connection again. So you've got Matt going to Jeff and going right to the rack.
Matt was the big story in the first half for Pinkerton, scored 6 of their 8 goals. Since then, a little more balance for Coach Ogier on attack in the second half.
Yeah, which you got to like. You got to like that. And I think it's more of a balanced attack than it is they've been able to shut off Matt Gormady. But they are looking impressive on offense, that's for sure. And I do like their aggressiveness on defense. Let's not discount that.
Right.
You know, they've got that BG feel to them on defense, and they've got some size too, which is going to benefit them.
Of course, this is the program that, under head coach Brian O'Reilly, won 12 NHIAA Division I state championships over the course of many decades. The last of which was Coach O'Reilly's last game back in 2019. The DNA of those teams, Roger, if you remember, very similar to this crew, as we see another Heward shot in close go wide, and now a flag is thrown. But some of those championship teams from last decade had a lot of multi-sport athletes. They were tough kids. And as you mentioned, they were deep on the attack. Very similar to this 2025 version.
Yeah, and they were layered. They had line after line of talent out there that could absolutely just take you apart and wear you down back in those days. And there were some really not that they don't have them now, but there are some really good names that came out of that program. Boyle back in 2000, he was 2004 because he won at NCAA in 2008. He played with Paul Rabel in that game down at Foxborough. I remember that distinctly, but just some great talent that came out of Pinkerton over the years.
Final 2 minutes. Astros with a imposing 16-9 lead as they've blown this game open in the fourth quarter. Lancers were close through 3 quarters and, in fact, had the margin down to just 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. But since then, 5 goals in a row for Pinkerton to basically put this one to sleep here. 16-9, final 95 seconds. Heward runs into trouble. He's helped out by Thompson, who looks to escape to his right. And he finds refuge, goal line extended near side. Defender dropping way off. Now behind the cage, Trey Campbell looking for options with $1:20 to go. Campbell unguarded for the moment. Walden from the wing, going to let it fire submarine style. Goaltender is out of the net, but can't chase it. It'll stay with Londonderry with $1:11 remaining.
And let's not forget about Coach Ogier and his legacy family that played here for Coach O'Reilly. Mark and older brother Matt also played here under Coach O'Reilly.
There's a few Ogiers that came through the program recently.
Yeah, well, Ryan Ogier, who went to Bryant, and I think he ended up at Southern New Hampshire, where his father also played for Coach Calkins over there back in the day.
There you go.
But Ryan, he came out of here and was a very good player.
Meanwhile, cross-zone pass too high, right idea, but flew a little bit over the head of intended target, sophomore Jack Ford.
I think the older brothers had sons that played at UNH as well. So, that legacy goes on.
So Coach Ogier, his first year as head coach. Watching the final seconds here, down to 20 on the clock. Got to like the way his team pulled away in this fourth quarter.
Indeed.
To earn win number 8. Perhaps time for one more for Londonderry. Brody Campbell, nowhere to go. Hooks up with Heward. Final seconds. Walden's shot is wide. Burwell out of the cage to claim it. Clock frozen with 3.7. Londonderry will keep it.
No, give it to Brady Blasco over there. Although Colby's had 3 goals and an assist tonight, he's done a pretty good job with that kid.
Final score 16-9. It's a Pinkerton win. Astros improved to 8-2 after their second straight victory. Londonderry suffers their 3rd loss of the campaign and slipped to 4-3. Coming up, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard as well. A lot to get to coming up next. Pinkerton a winner 16-9 here in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, it was a competitive game early in the fourth quarter. Londonderry clawed their way back 11-9 with a minute and a half gone by in that fourth quarter, but then the Pinkerton defense comes to the forefront. The offense gets balance, and in the end, 5 unanswered to bring the Astros to the finish line. 16-9 is the final. Big games tonight on the individual level. Matt Gormady, the junior, had 6 goals, all in the first half for Pinkerton, as they led 8-6 at the break. Londonderry's Odin Heward is pretty good in his own right. 4 goals in the loss tonight, 3 of those in the first half. And both goaltenders seemingly got better as the game went on. Brock St. Gelais, the young sophomore for Londonderry, ending up unofficially with 5 saves. And Gavin Burwell got the majority of his stops in that fourth quarter, ended up with an unofficial number of 8. So, in the end, Pinkerton, with a strong fourth quarter, come away with their 8th win. They're still undefeated against in-state competition. They improved to 8-2, which right now is good enough for the 1 seed if the tournament were to start today. On the other side, Londonderry looking to regroup when they head out west on Friday. They'll take on Keene on the road. Still looking for victory number 5. But what was your big takeaway tonight for both teams, Roger?
Just the fight and the consistency in the Astros game on both ends of the field. When the Lancers gave them a punch, put in a couple of goals, Astros came back and just squelched any hope of them getting back in the game. They did keep it close. As you know, at half we were only a 2-goal game at that point, but you could see just things start to stretch out as we ended that third quarter. And the Astros, they just, I didn't see a lot of holes in their game. They maybe need to clean up a few things on the clear. But other than that,
penalties.
Penalties. Penalties, yeah. But you're playing Londonderry too, and I was thinking about this when we were first talking about that. Is that this has always been a rough game.
Yeah.
And the penalties did kind of hurt them in the first half because Londonderry capitalized on them. But they had 3 penalties in the 4 penalties in the second half. So 3, and they were all in the fourth quarter. Just a late thing for them, and it just gets rough and chippy. So nothing out of the norm.
Yeah. Pinkerton will have 5 days to get ready for Bishop Girton. That's their next game.
Yeah,
that'll be played here coming up on Monday. Both teams
could be a good one.
Yep.
Actually, if you think about it,
Yep.
For what we know of both teams now, having seen Pinkerton, but I mean BG too. Yeah, good contest.
All right, I want to thank Coach O'Reilly. Met me here bright and early to unlock the press box. Appreciated that. Always fun seeing Coach and his staff here at Pinkerton Academy.
Thanks to both coaches for responding to our emails over the last couple of days to get caught up and get rosters and get some feedback of their teams. It's always good to hear from the coaches as well as the ADs.
Of course, Friday we're back at it in Bedford at Bulldog Stadium, 7 o'clock start, as Bedford welcomes a Massachusetts power to town. That's Andover. And that's a 7 o'clock start.
Could be a fun game.
Yeah.
Could be a fun game.
We're looking forward to that. Anytime there's a cross-border battle. All right. For our crew here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, which includes the hardworking man in the trench down in the field, that's Matt Beals, doing another bang-up job. And on a fill-in basis tonight, the reliable Ian Maluski, pinch hitting and hitting a home run for us here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Appreciate Ian. Look forward to working with him again down the road. It was all orchestrated flawlessly as expected by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For the big man in the big chair, executive producer Steve Beals, and my partner Roger Howe, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time. Pinkerton 16, Londonderry 9. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.